Me, 23, just started first real job after college. Software company, open office floor plan, think I'm going to crush it. First week goes fine, mostly just setting up my machine. Reading docs nobody ever reads. Eating lunch alone at my desk like a normal person. Week 2, start noticing the team dynamic. 4 guys, 3 women, 1 manager named Karen. Actual name, not a meme. She seems fine at first. Team stand up every morning. Everyone gives a quick update. I give mine, short and clear. Karen nods and moves on. Guy next to me, Brad, also gives his. Karen asks 2 follow-up questions. Seems normal enough. Whatever. End of week 2. Priya, the senior dev, pushes broken code to main. Entire CI pipeline collapses. Everyone scrambles. I fix it in 40 minutes. Karen thanks the whole team, not me specifically. Okay, fine, team effort and all that. Week 3, Brad breaks the same pipeline. Different bug, same result. Karen pulls him aside privately. Coaches him through it. I mentioned to a colleague that I fixed it last time. He shrugs and says Karen really looks out for her people. I ask what that means. He just shrugs again. Week 4, company announces a new internal task force, focused on improving team culture. Karen volunteers herself and Priya to lead it. Cool, good for them. Task force sends out a survey. Questions about feeling hurt at work. Questions about psychological safety. I fill it out honestly. Say I sometimes feel my contributions are overlooked. 2 days later, Karen pulls me into a one-on-one. Says she noticed my survey response, says she wants me to feel supported. I say I appreciate that. She asks me to elaborate. I mention the pipeline fix. I mention the stand-up where Brad got follow-up questions and I did not. I say it carefully, not accusingly. Karen listens with her head tilted. She says she understands. Then says she has been intentionally giving more airtime to underrepresented voices. I ask what that means in practice. She says the women on the team have historically been talked over in tech environments. I say I understand the issue broadly. I say I have never talked over anyone here. She says it is not about what I do individually. It is about correcting systemic patterns. I nod and say, okay. Leave the meeting feeling weird, not angry exactly. Just confused. Talk to my roommate that night. He is doing a gender studies minor. He lights up when I describe the meeting. Says Karen is just applying equity principles. Says equity means giving more to those who have less. I say I get the theory. I say what about me though? He says I benefit from systems I did not build. I say I'm just trying to get credit for fixing a pipeline. He says that is a very individualistic way to think. We argue for like an hour. Nobody wins. Eat cold pasta and go to bed. Next week at stand-up, I give a longer update than usual. I solved a gnarly catching problem overnight. Explain the approach briefly. Karen says, great, thanks, then immediately turns to Jess, who says she is still working on her ticket from last Wednesday. Karen asks Jess 3 questions, asks about her blockers, asks how she is feeling about her workload, asks if she needs pairing support. I sit there, nod along. Wonder if I am being crazy. After stand-up, Brad leans over, whispers that Karen is like this with everyone. I ask what he means. He says she babies the women and ignores the men. I feel uncomfortable with how he said that. Tell him that is not a great way to frame it. He shrugs and says, I will see. Month 2, performance review cycle starts. We all submit self-assessments. I write mine carefully. List every contribution with dates. The pipeline fix, the catching solution, 2 client-facing bugs I squashed alone. Review day comes. Karen goes through my self-assessment. Says my technical skills are clearly strong. Says she wants to see more collaboration. Says I should work on being a team player. I ask for a specific example of when I was not collaborative. She pauses. Says it is more of an overall impression. I ask whose impression. She says the team's. I ask if I can see the peer feedback. She says it is anonymous and aggregated. I say that makes it impossible to address. She says growth is not always about data points. Walk out of that review feeling like I have been assessed on vibes. Actual documented work barely mentioned. Criteria I cannot see or respond to. Cool. Brad is waiting outside. Asks how it went. I say weird. He says same. Says Karen told him to work on his communication style. He says the only communication he has done is write good code. We both laugh a little, then feel bad for laughing. Priya catches us laughing, asks what is funny. We say nothing, just processing our reviews. She says hers went great. Karen told her she was a rising leader. Priya seems genuinely happy. I do not begrudge her that. She is good at her job. I just do not understand what I am being measured by. Go home. Google equity versus equality in the workplace. Read for 2 hours. Read arguments on all sides. Some of it makes sense. Some of it feels like it could justify anything. Find a forum thread about men feeling invisible at work during day initiatives. Half the comments are reasonable. Half are from guys who clearly hate women. Close the tab. Try to find the middle ground in my own head. It is blurry. Month 3, big project gets assigned. Rebuild the authentication system. Most important work the team has done in 2 years. Karen announces the lead will be Jess. I think Jess is fine. She is not the strongest engineer on the team. That is probably me or Priya, honestly. Priya would have been a reasonable pick. Karen says Jess has shown tremendous growth and deserves this opportunity. I think about the pipeline fix again. Brad messages me privately. Says this is exactly what he was talking about. I tell him to be careful about how he frames it. He says I am being naive. Says Karen is just running a diversity quota. I say I do not think it is that simple. He says wait and see. Project begins. Jess leads the kickoff meeting. She is nervous but prepared. Her design doc is decent, not perfect. I give constructive feedback. She takes it well. 2 weeks in, major architecture problem surfaces. Jess's approach will not scale past a few thousand users. I flag it in the shared doc, politely with a proposed alternative. Karen sees my comment, schedules a meeting. In the meeting, she asks Jess to walk through her design. Jess does. I explain the scaling issue again, clearly, with numbers. Karen says she appreciates my input, then says Jess should take time to evaluate the feedback and make the final call. I say the numbers are pretty clear. Karen says engineering is not always about numbers. I stare at my screen for a second. I am literally a software engineer. Engineering is kind of always about numbers. Do not say that out loud. Nod and leave the meeting. Talk to Priya later. She is the only person I actually trust here. She looks at my analysis, agrees my approach is correct, says Jess should use it. I ask why she did not say that in the meeting. Priya is quiet for a moment, says it is complicated. Says Karen has been her champion for 2 years. Says she does not want to undercut Jess in front of management. I say so, you will let a broken system go to production? Priya says she will talk to Jess privately. I say that is not the same. She says welcome to office politics. I say I thought we were a meritocracy. She actually laughs at that. Says no workplace is a meritocracy. Says I am just now noticing it from the bad side. That lands differently than I expected. I sit with it for a while. Jess adopts a hybrid of her approach and mine. It is not perfect, but it will work. She gives me credit in the documentation, which I appreciate. Project ships, no major issues. Karen praises Jess in the all hands, says the team supported her beautifully. I am mentioned once in a list of contributors. Brad is fuming, says he is going to HR. I tell him to be specific if he does. Do not go in with vague complaints about reverse discrimination. That will not go well. He says whose side I am on. I say I am on the side of being evaluated fairly. He says that is the same thing he is saying. I say the way you say it matters. He goes to HR anyway. I hear through the grapevine he complained about gender bias. HR apparently told him bias works in many directions, and asked if he had specific documented examples. He did not. Meeting ended quickly. Month 4. I am getting quieter at work. Not angry, just disengaged. Do my work, do it well, stop expecting recognition. This is apparently a coping strategy humans developed. Karen notices, asks if I am okay. I say yes. She says I seem less engaged. I say I am just focused. She says she wants me to feel like I belong here. I think about what belonging means. I say thank you. Neither of us says anything real. Priya asked me to grab coffee. We walk to the place down the street. She asks me honestly how I am doing. I tell her the truth, that I feel like I am being managed around a narrative. That the narrative is not about me specifically, but I keep getting caught in it, that I support equity in principle, but in practice, it feels like I'm just losing without any explanation. Priya listens, does not immediately defend Karen, does not immediately validate me either, just listens. Then she says something I did not expect. She says she spent 3 years at her last company being the Jess, the one people doubted. The one passed over for the pipeline fix credit. The one told her feedback was not data. She says it is not fun from that side either. I say I know. I say I'm not trying to say it is worse on my side. She says good because it is not. We sit with that for a minute. She says the problem is Karen. Not because Karen is malicious, but because Karen has overcorrected. And overcorrection is still a calibration error. I ask if she has ever said that to Karen. Priya says she values her job. I laugh. She laughs. We walk back. Something feels slightly less stuck in my chest. Month 5. Another task force survey. This time about recognition and fairness. I fill it out more specifically than last time. Give concrete examples, dates, contributions, outcomes. Frame it as a systems question, not a personal grievance. Karen schedules another one-on-one. This time she comes with notes. She actually goes through my examples. Does not dismiss them. She says she has been reflecting on feedback, that she may have been overcorrecting in ways that create new imbalances. She does not apologize exactly, but she is clearly trying to say something honest. I say I appreciate her saying that. I say I do not want to go backward on supporting underrepresented people. I want the criteria to be clear and consistent for everyone. She nods slowly. She says that is fair. She means it, I think. Stand up the next day. I give my update. Karen asks a follow-up question. Just one. But it is the right question about the right thing. It is such a small thing. I almost do not notice it. Then I do. Brad messages me. Says nothing has changed, and Karen is still the problem. I say I think things are shifting slightly. He says I am being played? Maybe everything is just slow and imperfect and human. Jess asks me for help on a new ticket. I help her. She is genuinely grateful. We talk for a while about the auth system. She asks good questions. I revise my opinion of her upward slightly. Month 6, performance review again, mid-year check-in. Karen walks me through it differently this time. She references specific work. The catching fix, the scaling analysis, even the pipeline thing from month 1. She says she has been more intentional about documenting contributions. Across the whole team, I ask what changed. She says she got feedback that she had blind spots. I ask from who. She smiles and says it was aggregated and anonymous. I laugh a little at that. Review ends. It is not perfect. Nothing is. But I feel like I was seen as a person this time. Not a variable in someone's equity equation. Walk to my car, sit for a minute before driving. Think about the whole 6 months. I still do not have clean answers. Systemic bias is real. I have seen it from Priya's stories. Overcorrection is also real. I lived it. Both things are true and they pull against each other. Being a man does not mean I have no blind spots. Being in the majority does not mean I have no legitimate grievances. Being in the minority does not mean every outcome is fair. Fairness is not a fixed point. It is something you have to keep calibrating, and calibration means you will overshoot sometimes, and undershoot sometimes. And the people who get hit by that are real. Brad texts me that he got a job offer somewhere else. Says the culture there will be different. I hope for his sake it is. I hope he does not carry the bitterness too far. I reply, good luck, man, I mean it. Priya sends a funny meme about Sci-I pipelines. I laugh for real this time. Next stand-up, I give my update. Karen asks one good question. Jess asks a follow-up. We solve a small problem together in real time. It is not a revolution, it is just a Tuesday. But it is slightly better than the Tuesday before it, which is probably all you can ask for. FW, the pipeline fix finally shows up in my quarterly summary. FW, it took 6 months. MFW still here.